In this video, I will show you how to create your own custom list view. So in order to get the resources that we need for this specific example, I want you to go to this website and just get the custom list views pictures. So basically that will get you to a button where you can click on download, and then it downloads a zip file with this information. So we've got a picture for the best price, on sale, hard disk drive, placeholder, laptop, the screen, and the memory. So that's the important pictures that we'll need for this example. And then what we basically want to do is to create something like this. This is a custom list view where we show the picture of the specific item. Let's say it's a laptop, then it's going to show the picture of a laptop. If it's a memory stick, it's going to show the picture of a memory stick. If it's a hard drive, it's going to show the picture of a hard drive. And then it's also going to show whether this item is on sale or is it just a normal item. So this is basically the list or the type of application that we want to create with the list view. And then remember that you can use this list view in a normal activity like the one we're going to do now, as well as when using fragments. You can also use this as your list view. And then if you click on it, show something as the detail view. Okay, so this is a list view. This is the view we're going to create. So you'll see that on the left-hand side, we've got a picture. So we will have a horizontal layout, linear layout, with a picture, then a linear layout that's vertical there inside of the horizontal layout, and the picture again, and then just a text view at the bottom. So we'll get back in order to basically create that layout. But for now, let's just get these pictures as part of our application so that we can start working with them. So I've created a new project. So let's go to the resources folder and say new image asset, and then click on image on the three dots and go and search for that pictures that you've downloaded. So if I go to, mine is under users, there's my custom list view example. So I'm going to go with the first one, best price, and I'm going to call that one best underscore price. If I go down, I want to have none there, and then this seems fine. You can just say next and finish. So what I want you to do is to go do this for every one of those pictures. So we've got under the map folder, I've got best price there. But carry on and add all of those pictures. I'm going to do that as well in order to get this done. And then I'll see you when we come back. Okay, are you done? So let's just look at the map folder then. You should have best price, HDD. IC launcher is just the launcher icon. That's the one that we started with, so you didn't include that. That was automatically there. Then we've got the laptop, the memory, placeholder, sale, and screen. If you don't have them exactly the same names, don't worry about it. You're just going to change the names wherever we need to change or use them. So those are the pictures we need to use. Now, in order to do the custom list view, I'm going to go to the main activity. And in the XML file, I'm going to have a normal linear layout. And the linear layout, I'm just going to remove the padding there. And I'm going to set the orientation to vertical. Remove the text view there. And I think that's fine. So we've got a blank layout there. Let me just zoom in a bit. So there's the blank layout. And for this layout, I want to have a text view. And for this text view, I'm not going to change the text on it at all. So I don't need an ID. Let's go down to the gravity property. And let's set this to be center horizontal. And we go down and we set the text style to bold and maybe the text size to 18. Okay, and then we can add a margin at the top. Let's say a margin at the top. Let's say a margin of 15, and as well as the bottom, we'll have one of 15. Right, so that's the text view. So in order to set the text for that text view, let's go to the values strings XML, and I'm just going to add a new string value there, and let's call it product heading, and let's just call it products. Okay, so I'm going to save, close down the strings XML, and the text that we want to have displayed on that text view should be product heading. Okay, so it's going to show products So there we go. We've got products there. Then we're going to add a list view to this activity. So if we go down, let's just search for a list view. There's the list view. So to the list view, you just drag in the list view to your screen. It won't show anything until you've given it an ID. I don't know why. So let's give it an ID, and we're going to call this list view products, LV products. And then you can see it shows nicely. Okay, so for the height, let's say height wrap content. Let's put the text view in front of it. Just go back. Text view before list view products. Let's just see. Yes, there we go. Okay, so we've got products there at the top, the text view, and then we've got the list view that is called LV products. Okay, so in order to link that up, let's just go here and say list view, and that's called LV products. And then in the onCreate, we can go and say LV products equals list view, find the view by its ID, and there's the ID. Okay, so the list view is all set up in coding as well as on the layout file itself. But if you can look at the items now, you can see that it shows two items there. Now, this is only a picture to indicate that this is your list view. We're going to create our own custom list view now. So if you remember, our list view should look something like this. So we're going to have a picture, then let's say the product's name, and then the price, whether it's on sale or not, and then a short description. Okay, so how can we do that? So in order to do that for our list view, we need to go and create a custom layout file that will handle that specific row layout for us. So every row will come from this one layout. So we're going to go to the resources or to the layout folder, and we're going to say new layout resource file, and let's call it row underscore layout. Say OK, and you can see there's the row layout XML file. So let's just zoom into that one. Okay, let's go to the text tab and see, okay, this is linear layout, it's vertical, right, everything seems fine. So now in this layout, we want to get to this specific layout that we've got here. So you can see there, we've got a linear layout. The topmost layout is a linear layout that's vertical. Inside that linear layout, we've got a horizontal linear layout. So let's go and create a horizontal linear layout there. So if we go down, there's a linear layout that's horizontal. I'm going to place it in the vertical linear layout, and there you can see it in the component tree. Okay, and I'm going to say for the height, wrap the content. Okay, so now in this horizontal layout, I'm going to first have a picture there. Okay, so let's add the picture. So we need an image view. Let's just go down a bit. Under images and media, there's the image view. So I'm going to drag the image view. Drag the image view into the horizontal layout, and I'm going to use the placeholder picture for that and say OK. Okay, so now you can see it spans the whole width. Don't worry about that. After that, after adding the picture, the next part that we need there is another linear layout that will be vertical. So let's do that quickly. So there's the linear layout that's vertical. I'm going to place that linear layout that's vertical underneath that image view. So the image view should be at the top, inside the linear layout. There's the image view, then the linear layout that's vertical. In the linear layout that's vertical, we place two text views. So let's go to the text views, drag in one text view, drag in another text view, and there you can see it. Okay, so the two text views, let's click on the first one, and we go down and we set the text style to bold, and maybe the size a bit bigger. So let's make it 18. Right, so we've got the text view there. Maybe 18 is a bit too big. Let me just open up this thing a bit. Text color, text. Let's go to the top. Text size. Let's make it 16. Not 1. 16. Okay, there we go. Right, so the text size is 16. And then maybe we can move it a bit from the top. So on that text view, or maybe let's use the linear layout itself. Let's take the text view, a margin at the top of, let's say, 5. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, and now on the right hand side of that, you'll see we have another picture. So we're going to have that same placeholder now just on the right hand side of that thing, still in the horizontal layout. So we've got an image view, then the linear layout. Just move that, then the linear layout, and now we want to have another image view. So let's go down and go to image view again. And we drag in another image view in the horizontal linear layout. Use the placeholder again and place that one after the linear layout. Okay, so we've got an interesting view now. So let's see if we can quickly rearrange this. So there's the image view 2. If we go down in the linear layout, first image view, wrap content, linear layout, height, wrap content, text view, and the text view, there's the image view to wrap the content. Okay, so what we want to do now, if we go back to design, we can't really see anything. So in the linear layout that's horizontal, on the image view, I'm going to set the width to 0 dp. Let's say 0 dp there. Then the weight property comes into play. So we're going to work with that now. Then the linear layout, I'm going to set the width also to 0 dp for the weight property to come in place. And then for the last image view, we're going to set the width property also to 0 dp. So if we look at the design now, all three of them now takes up the same space horizontally. So now let's say for the pictures, we want to have it take up one of the spaces. And then for the linear layout, the vertical one, we're going to say take up 4 of the spaces. So it's going to look like this. That one at the beginning, that one at the end. So this horizontal or the vertical layout takes up 4 of the spaces on the screen. This one takes up 1, that one takes up 1. So there's 6 spaces horizontally. 1, that one takes up 4, that one takes up 1. Okay, so far so good. Let's give, let's just get the last text view there. So at the end, we'll have that text view there. And maybe for that text view, we can add some margins on the left. Let's say a margin of 10 on the left and the right and the bottom. Let's take the top as well. Okay, so there's the text view. So now just to get everything IDs, let's call that one. So if you look at the picture of this thing, then we basically have what we have on the layout now. So what we can do now is to give them IDs. So that one will be the product's picture, or the picture of the product. This one will be the title, the price, and the description. Okay, so let's go down. So for this picture, we're going to call that one IV image view, and we're going to call it product. So it's going to be IV product. That one will be IV sale. So whether it's on sale or not. So IV product, IV sale. That text view will be basically the product's name. So let's call it TV text view product. And then for this text view, that will be the TV price. The price for the product. And then for this one, that will be the description. So let's call it TV description. Okay, so that's the first thing that we need. So in our main activity, we've got a list view called LView products. And now we've got an external layout called row layout that will define how every single row in this list view will look like. Okay, so I hope you are with me right now on how to create the layout so that it looks like this. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now for this video is to go and create my own custom class. So I'm going to say new Java class, and I'm going to call this class product. So this is just to create objects of this specific type that I want to show in the list view. So for every product, I'm going to have a private string. Let's say the title of the product. I will also have a private string, a description. We will also have a private string type. So the title will be like a Samsung screen or whatever. The description, just give a description of it. The type will be, let's say, laptop or memory or whatever. And then we're going to have a private double for the price. And then we will have a private Boolean for whether it's on sale or not. So let's call it sale. And now it's easy in Android Studio to just go and say, right-click generate. For this example, we actually only need the getters. So I'm going to say create the getter and the constructor. So let's create the constructor for all of those. I want all of them included in the constructor. Okay, so there's the constructor, nicely created for me. And then I want the getters. So I'm going to say generate the getters for me. And I want all the getters. Okay, so there's the product class. We've got a title, description, type, price, sale. We've got the constructor that accepts all of those and sets them. And then we've got a title, get description, get type, get price. And let's make that one also a get sale. And then we're going to save. Okay, so that's basically the product class. So what we need for the custom layout for the list view is we need a list view itself. Now I've done something here again. There we go. So we need the list view itself. So there's the list view, LV products. We need a custom design for every row in the layout, and we need a class or maybe something else, but in this case a class works nicely. So we've got a class that will represent every object that we're going to show inside of the list view. Okay, so then in the main activity, we've got the list view products linked up. So now we need to go to this LV products, and we need to call set a list adapter to this. So we'll just say set adapter. And now here we need an adapter, and that's the custom adapter that we need to create now. So I'm just going to comment this out. So we need to go and create our own adapter that will set the objects of this class as items in the list view. So let's create that class quickly. Under your Java folder, you're going to say new Java class, and you can call this class whatever you want. Let's call this class product adapter. So there's product adapter. You're going to say okay, and you'll see it's a normal class, but we want this class not to be a normal class, but to be an array adapter. So we're going to say array adapter, and this array adapter must be of type product. That's the product class that we just defined. Okay, we'll get to the errors now. So as part of this class, we need two final variables. So we're going to say private final context, and that will be basically the class or the activity that will use this array adapter. And then we're going to say private final array list. So we're going to have an array list of items of products that we're going to send through to this class in order to set it to our specific list view. So Alt Enter will get you the import, and that product, let's call it, or the array list, let's call it values. Okay, and now let's create the constructor quickly. So let's just create the constructor, generate the constructor for us. Let's take the first one. We can accept the context and the array list. That's also fine. So let's remove those. So we're going to take in the context and the array list. The call to super will take the context. Then we're going to say r.layout and that layout that we want to show is that row layout of ours. And then we're going to pass in the array list that was passed through. So let's just make this one list to be totally sure what's going on here, and make that one also list. Okay, so in the constructor, we'll pass in the context, which will normally be this. Remember that we use it from the main activity. So we're basically passing in this, which is the main activity, and the second argument, an array list of product objects, and product objects coming from this class. Right, and then to the super class, we pass in the context. That will be the activity. Second argument, the layout file that you want to use for every element in the list view. And then the last argument, the list that was passed through. So our context will be the context that was passed through, and our values will be the list that was passed through. Okay, so that's the product adapter, that's the constructor. And then the last thing for this class that we need is the getView method. So we're going to go to code, override methods, and search for the getView method. So there's the getView method. We'll get back to the return type there, or whatever we return. So this getView method will now run for every element that you've got in your list that was passed through. So let's say you've got 3 objects as part of your array list there. Then this getView method will run 3 times, and every time it runs, it will go to a specific position in the list. So let's say there's 3. The very first time it runs, position will be 0. The second time, position will be 1. And then the third time, position will be 2. Okay, so that's the getView method. Now, in the getView method is what we want to do is to set these items on this specific layout, the external layout that we defined for every item in the list. So let's go back to that adapter. So what we want to do is to first make a connection to this row layout. So how do we do that? Because it's an external layout, we need to use the layout inflator. So we're going to say layout inflator, whatever you want to call it, equals, let's cast this to a layout inflator. So we're going to say layout inflator context, which should be the main activity, dot get system service, and the service that we want is context dot layout inflator service. So this one will help us to inflate that external layout called row layout. So now in order to do this, we're going to say view, and let's call it row view, equals inflator dot inflate. And what do we want to inflate now? So I'm going to say r.layout dot row layout. That's the layout we want to inflate. And then we're just going to pass in the parent that was passed through there. As that view group, pass through the parent, and then pass through false. Okay, so that's all we need for this one. We need to have the row layout there, and you'll see also there when we pass it to the superclass constructor. Okay, so then after this line of coding, row view will now have a link to row layout so that we can start working on it. And now it's easy. We actually just need to go and set up the text views and everything on that. So let's start with them. I'm going to start with the text views. So remember the text views and everything that's on this row layout now. The text view, the first one there is called, let me just see there, TV product. So we're going to say TV product equals. Now instead of saying find view by ID, or normally we'd say text view, and then find view by ID, you can see it doesn't pick it up because there's no find view by ID method in the array adapter class. So for this to work, row view, this one there, has got a connection to the row layout. So on that connection, we call find view by ID, and then search for the ID, and the ID was called TV product. And then the next text view, we called it, let me just go back to the picture. That text view is called TV price. So let's call it TV price equals text view, row view again, dot find view by its ID. And we need to go to TV price in this case. Okay, then for the last text view there, I think we called it TV description, equals text view again, row view dot find view by its ID, and let's call it TV description. Right, so there we've got the 3 text views. So on that layout, 1, 2, 3 text views that we want to set something on, and the 2 image views. So the first image view is called IV product. So let's go down, set up the 2 image views as well. So it's going to be image view IV product equals again an image view. Find the view by its ID, but in this case again we must get the link to that external layout, which is row view dot find view by ID, r.id dot IV product, and then image view again, IV, what did we call that one? That was the sale, so it's IV sale equals text view, sorry, image view, row view, find the view by its ID, and we call that one IV sale. Right, so there we've got all of the items linked to. We've got the 2 image views and the 3 text views all linked up. So now we can start setting information to them. So for the first one, TV product, it's easy to just go and say TV product dot set text, and now that one will be the title. So if I go to TV product, that one there, that should be the title of my specific product. So remember that we pass through a list or an array list of product objects was passed through. So I can go to that list and call get. Now in which position, sorry, list is now called values there, sorry. So it must be values.get. And at which position do we get that object? It depends on where this getView method is at this stage. So we're going to pass in the position there, and that gets us the object. And then on the object, there's a few methods. There's get methods. So I want to call get title there. So I'm going to call get title, and that gets me the title for that specific product. And then on the next one, TV price, we're going to set the text as that values again, dot get at the specific position, dot get, in this case, the price for the object. But now get price returns double. So what we can do is to just go and add a rand value at the front. So let's just add a rand value there. Okay, so that one will then get you a string. And then for the last one, it's TV description. Let's set the text there on TV description. And the text that we want there is also values dot get position dot get description, which returns a string, so we'll have no problem. Okay, so that's the text views. So all the text views are set up now. Now what about the 2 image views? So for the 2 image views, there's some work to be done here. So let's just look at these 2 text view or image views quickly. So we're going to test if the values dot get at the specific position, that's getting the object, dot get, let's start with the sale first. So if get sale is true, that's what we're testing here. So if the sale is true, then on the image sale, image view sale, we want to set the image resource as r dot, and now remember in your folder structure, it's under mipmap, and the picture is called sale. So I'm going to say r dot mipmap dot sale. So if it is on sale, if that Boolean variable is true, then we show sale. The else there, if it's not on sale, we're going to say IV sale dot set image resource r dot mipmap dot, and the one that we want to set then is the best price picture. Okay, so if it's on sale, we show the sale picture, otherwise we show the best price picture. Right, so that's the sale part. So let's do the other part. If values dot get position dot get type. So let's look at the type now. If the type dot equals, and let's hard code this, if it's a laptop, we'll show the laptop picture. So then it's going to be image view product dot set image resource r dot mipmap dot, and it's going to be the laptop. Else if values dot get position, which gets the object, dot get type gets the type, and if that type is equal to, let's say, memory, if it's memory, we're going to say iv product dot set image resource, and we're going to say r dot mipmap dot, and we called it memory. Right, so far so good. We've got the laptop, the memory. Let me just see what we've got there. We've got a hard disk drive, laptop, memory, and a screen. So maybe we'll add an else if values dot get position dot get type, if it equals, let's say, a screen, we'll have iv product dot set image resource r dot mipmap dot, we call it screen. Okay, so, and then the else part will be the very last picture, which will be the hard disk drive. So I'm going to just copy that one, paste it there, and that one will be HDD. Okay, so there's the different pictures. If it's on sale, we're going to show the sale, else we show that picture. If the position or if the type is a laptop, we show the laptop picture. If the type is a memory, we show the memory picture. If the type is screen, we show the screen. And if it's not one of those, we'll show the hard disk drive. And then the return type there, or what we return there, must be that row view, which is a connection to the row layout, that one that we defined there. So I hope you're okay with this one. So basically what happens, we send through the list, which is a list of, or an array list of product objects. For every object in that list, the getView method runs. We make a connection to all of the items. We set the text for that specific object. We set the pictures for that object, and then we return. So let's save this. Now let's go to the main activity quickly. So if we go to the main activity, we've set up LV products. Now let's set up the array list quickly. So we're going to say array list, and this array list will be of type product, and let's call it list. And let's just set it up here. So it's going to be list equals new array list of type product. Right, so there's the list, everything set up. Now let's create a few objects. So I'm just going to paste a few objects here that I've created beforehand. So you'll see that we've got a few product objects. Product 1 equals new product. So if you remember your product constructor, there's a title, then a description, then the type. Title, the description, the type, then the price, and then the boolean. So the price and then the sale, which is the boolean. So there's product 1. Product 2 is the title, Acer Aspire. There's a description, it's of type laptop. There's the price, whether it's on sale or not. There's the next one, the title, the description, the type, the price, whether it's on sale or not. Then again, the product itself, the title, the description, the type, and whether it's the price and whether it's on sale or not. So for all of these items now, all of these products, we can add them now to the list. So I'm going to say list.add. Let's add product 1. And then I'm going to copy this because we're just going to add all of the other products. Let's add them quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4 products. That one will be 2, 3, 4. Right, so now we've added all of those products, and now we can call this line to set the adapter. Now the adapter, we first need to create that adapter. So we're going to say product adapter, which is our own custom adapter class. It's this one. So if you remember the constructor, it accepts the context and the array list. So we're going to say product adapter equals new product adapter. So it accepts the context, which we can just pass in this, which is the main activity. And the second argument is the array list. And the array list is called list. So you can see then we pass in the context and the list of objects. And every one of these objects will now go into that getView method. And we will set the title, the description, the price, whether it's on sale or not, and the type of the picture. That will be set automatically. And then when you're done, you just call lvproducts.setAdapter, passing in adapter. So let's see if this runs actually. Right, and there it's running, and you can see it's showing amazingly nice. You can see Dell Latitude, Acer Aspire, SanDisk, verbatim, everything showing nicely according to the product that we have chosen there. So let's say the Acer Aspire is actually not a laptop, but it's a screen. So let's go to, there's the Acer Aspire. Let's make that laptop a screen. And now you can see that the picture on the Acer Aspire is showing a laptop. So if I say screen there, it should show the picture of a screen. So let's run it quickly and see how that changes. And there you can see it replaced it now with a screen. And only the first one is on sale. So let's say we make the bottom one also on sale. So we make that a true and run it again. We're going to get a problem there. Let's just run it again. So that last one should now also go to sale, and there you can see the sale. So it depends on what you're doing here, on obviously what will be set as every item in the list view. So this is a nice example of how you can do your own custom type of list view. I hope you've enjoyed this video.